arrive. The scariest part was that I could see her through my doorway, standing in the hall between the NICU and maternity ward. And she wasn't looking at the rooms or the nurses passing by. She was staring directly at my belly with an expression I'd never seen before. Tomorrow morning, they're inducing me. Jacqueline knows the exact time. She's been asking the nurses questions about the delivery room locations and whether they ever leave babies unattended. The NICU is 1 floor below maternity. If her baby doesn't make it through the night, I don't know what she'll do when mine is born healthy in the morning. The clock showed 3 a.m. when I woke up to Kyle's voice in the dark, already talking to someone on his phone about Jacqueline asking the nurses where babies get taken after delivery. He was pacing by the window, explaining how she'd been watching the hallways and timing how long nurses stayed in each room. The charge nurse on the other end promised to add a special security code to my chart right away and alert the whole night shift. Kyle wasn't satisfied though, his voice getting louder as he demanded specific names of who would protect us and exactly what they'd do if Jacqueline tried to get near our baby. His hands were shaking as he wrote down names on the hospital notepad, asking about door locks and panic buttons, and whether security could physically stop someone from entering our room. The nurse kept trying to calm him down, but Kyle wanted a meeting with hospital security before my induction started at 8 a.m. Within an hour, Francis Bergman showed up at our door wearing a security supervisor badge and carrying a thick folder of protocols. He walked us through every single safety measure they had, showing us pictures of the electronic badges that tracked everyone's location, and explaining how the infant security tags would trigger an automatic lockdown if anyone tried to remove them or take a baby past certain doors. Francis took out his phone and had me send him the clearest photo I had of Jacqueline, so he could distribute it to every security guard on every shift with instructions to watch for her. He showed us the dedicated officer assigned to the maternity ward and gave us his direct number, promising someone would check on us every hour once labor started. At 5 a.m., someone knocked, and Olympia Hicks from Social Services came in with a clipboard full of forms, explaining she needed to document all the threats Jacqueline had made for potential CPS involvement. She sat in the uncomfortable visitor chair asking detailed questions about every interaction, every threat, every time Jacqueline had mentioned our baby, while I felt my face burning with embarrassment at having to tell a complete stranger about my family's mess. Olympia explained the process for getting an emergency restraining order and said she could start the paperwork right now if we wanted, that a judge could issue it before the baby was even born. My phone started buzzing non-stop as Mom apparently told everyone in the family group chat about the security measures we'd requested. Half my cousins thought I was being dramatic and overreacting to a new mother's stress, while the other half started sharing stories I'd never heard before about times Jacqueline had scared them or done something unstable when she didn't get her way. My aunt sent 3 paragraphs about how Jacqueline had keyed her car after not being invited to a party in high school, and my cousin mentioned finding Jacqueline going through her purse at Christmas looking for birth control pills to throw away. Uncle Jeffrey sent a private text saying he knew a detective named Cyrus Powell who specialized in these cases and could fast-track a police report if we needed one. I hesitated for a second, worried about making everything worse and turning this into an even bigger family war. But Kyle grabbed my phone out of my hand and typed back, YESPLEASE in all caps before I could stop him. A nurse rushed into our room looking worried and told us Jacqueline's baby had taken a bad turn overnight with his oxygen levels dropping so low they had to increase the ventilator support and add more medications. She said the NICU team was doing everything they could, but the next